They go they gossip, we go they fight. PM Simon Ekpa, you be the light. Therefore we must get freedom is our goal. If you like gossip, we go they roll. Biafra freedom, now I change you. No matter the challenge, we go they push through. Now them go they on, we no go lose God. We fake for courage, we they stand hard. The Simon Ekpa, lead us through the storm. Biafra land calling, let's make it our norm. Biafra we must get, freedom is our goal. If you like gossip, we go the roll. Biafra freedom, now I dream true. No matter the challenge, we go to push through. Biafra freedom, now I dream true. No matter the challenge, we go to push through. Oh, get that. Let's go, let's do this now. Let's go to push through. Let's go, let's do this now. Oh, Simon Ekpa, lead us through the storm. Biafra land calling, let's make it our norm. Biafra Ekpa, lead us through the storm. Biafra land calling, let's make it our norm. They go they gossip, we go they fight. PM Simon Ekpa, you be the light. Therefore we must get, freedom is our goal. If you like gossip, we go they roll. Biafra freedom, now I change you. No matter the challenge, we go they push through. Now them go they on, we no go lose God. We fake for courage, we they stand hard. The Simon Ekpa, lead us through the storm. Biafra land calling, let's make it our norm. Biafra we must get, freedom is our goal. If you like gossip, we go the roll. Biafra freedom, now I dream true. No matter the challenge, we go to push through. Biafra freedom, now I dream true. No matter the challenge, we go to push through. Oh, get that. Let's go, let's do this now. Let's go to push through. Let's go, let's do this now. Oh, Simon Ekpa, lead us through the storm. Biafra land calling, let's make it our norm. Biafra Ekpa, lead us through the storm. Biafra land calling, let's make it our norm. They go they gossip,
we have here with us Alliance, and he has been great, doing the bidding of the Biafran. And our Prime Minister and we Biafrans, we are so proud of him. I call him my friend. He's a friend of Biafran. So we're Biafra-Constitution, we're going to give him a title. So we'll be working very closely, dialoguing with the U.S. Congress, having a bunch of meetings. So we are more than friends. Elias, welcome to today's town hall meeting.
Thank you. I just want to provide my greetings. I'm kind of bouncing around today, but I thought it was important for me to address all of you in our town hall, especially given the recent circumstances. I think, yes, we are in a challenging time with the challenges with the recent developments regarding the Prime Minister, but I think this is only a temporary step back. We have to continue with what we're doing, and what has happened will not deter us. And I just want to assure all of you that I will be in Finland, with the difficulties that that we are facing. This is a time to stand by your friends, to stand by your comrades, and we will not only are we not stepping back in any way, but we'll redouble our efforts here in Washington, D.C. To help the Biafran government, to help the Prime Minister. Right before the incidents of what happened, I arranged for the Biafran government to retain one of the top international attorneys in the world, who I work very closely with, Armand Dabiri, who's represented many foreign governments, who's engaged in a lot of sensitive international activities throughout the world. I made this move because I knew I didn't know what the Finnish government would do, but I knew that the Nigerian government is very devilish, and we always have to outsmart them. So that's why we brought on the attorney, who's been very helpful to us, including with this current situation with the Prime Minister. So I want to assure all of you that you should continue in your efforts. We will be victorious. And the reason why we are finding these challenges is specifically because the Nigerian government is concerned about the success we're having. That's why they're resorting to desperate measures. So we need to continue what we're doing. We've made a lot of progress. We can't let this very unfortunate setback stop the efforts we're making. We must continue our efforts because we're very close, not just with the convention, but with everything we're doing. I can tell you, I feel such a strong momentum in Washington for our cause. So I think Nigerian government, because they're desperate, they're engaging in everything they can. We can't stop what we're doing when we're so close to what we want to achieve. So I just want to assure all of you that I'm sticking by the Biafran government, the Biafran people during this difficult time. I'm not phased in any way. And I think the Nigerian government is very upset about this because, there's a lot of Nigerian propaganda saying, oh, now with what has happened, the lobbyists are going to leave and we don't have to deal with them anymore. And I put out a very strong tweet saying that this is a fantasy, that I am sticking through this regardless of how difficult things get, and I'm not deterred, which I think made the zoo very upset. So I just want to assure all of you that, again, this is a very unfortunate situation, but I'm not deterred in any way. I will continue with what I'm doing. Our firm will continue with what it's doing. And I continue to plan to go to Finland and speak to all of you and see all of you in Finland. So, my message is stay strong, stay calm. Yes, this is a unfortunate matter we're dealing with, but we need to keep calm and be very strategic in terms of navigating the next steps. So that would just be my message to everyone. And thank you again for all that you're doing. And I look forward to seeing everyone in Finland. So thanks again, and I appreciate the opportunity to speak with all of you.
Well, thank you, Your Excellency. My name is Jim Moran. I served in the United States Congress for approximately a quarter of a century. After I left the Congress, I began to represent some corporations and countries and causes that I believe in. It has been an honor to work with you, Your Excellency. Elias Gerasoulis is my partner. This is primarily Elias's account, but I'm going to be working with him. While I was in the Congress, I was on the committee that funds defense and State Department foreign operations, as well as the Foreign Relations Committee. I have an interest in Africa. I was a principal co-sponsor of the African Growth and Opportunity Act. But most importantly, I do believe that Biafran independence is a just and noble cause. And I trust that you have a bright future ahead. We will try to secure your independence. We can't promise because the politics is not a particularly predictable situation in the United States today, and justice is not always served, but we will work towards that objective. I appreciate the opportunity to work on behalf of the Biafran people, and at this point, let me turn it over to Elias. Elias?
Oh, thank you, Jim, and it's an honor to be working with you on this, and we appreciate your lending your support, someone of your prestige and stature. That association would be so critical. So thank you, Jim. I appreciate it. And thank you, Mr. Prime Minister, Your Excellencies, and dear Biafrans in the United States and around the world. My name is Elias Gerasoulis, and I am a good friend and a colleague of Congressman Moran, and we are your new lobbyists here in Washington, D.C. However, you should know that we are more than just your lobbyists. We are fellow freedom fighters in the struggle for the liberation by Biafra. And similar to how your compatriots in the Biafran Defense Forces are securing your freedom on the homeland, we will be fighting for your freedom in the political and diplomatic battlefield here in Washington, D.C. And we will make sure that all these U.S. officials, all these congressmen and senators understand that the Biafran independence movement is a pure democratic civilian uprising against injustice, the very same one that we had in the United States when we declared our independence from the British 200 years ago. On a personal level, I knew I had to get involved in this struggle, not only because of my belief in the Biafran cause, but my belief in His Excellency, the Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. As I got to know the Prime Minister, I could see that he has remarkable leadership qualities and vision. And I knew that instinctively that he was a man of destiny and that he will have a very important impact in Africa in the years to come. And I thought it was a personal duty to assist him. Already, the Prime Minister has made remarkable progress and has outsmarted the Nigerian system in many ways. The Prime Minister has done this with the self-referendum. He has done this with opening diplomatic liaison offices around the world. And I think by establishing a proper Biafran lobby in Washington, D.C., the Prime Minister has delivered his masterstroke. And if you can look at the Nigerian media and the social media, you will see that this is something that's been highly publicized. And I think this is because they understand the moment that the United States starts to gain more support for the Biafran cause, it will be a game changer. Because when the United States leads, other countries follow. Congressman Moran and myself are your voice to the U.S. Congress, your voice to the White House, your voice to the State Department, your voice to the highest offices in this great land. And we will not stop until victory is achieved. Long live a free, independent, and sovereign Biafra. Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that brilliant speech there. Elias, We are happy to have you on board, and we have a lot of things to do together. Thank you. This particular, appearance today is just to present you to the Biafrans in the United States. As I made my promise, I have fulfilled it. It is now that we go out there and do what we know how to do best for the interest of Biafra.
Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister. It's our honor, and we look forward to serving you in the cause. Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister.
Thank you very much. Nice to have you.
Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister. It was a pleasure to see you again.
Thank you.
Look forward to working with you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Chimora. Thank you.
Igbos penetrate Biafrans, a different breed of Biafrans that understood how the Fulani terrorist cabals and Nigerian government works. So when you see the criminal ex-BRGIE cabinet members, the criminal lobbyists that are parading with them in the name of trying to restore Biafra, Biafrans already stopped them. All lobbyists that are parading with them in the name of trying to restore Biafra, Biafra government works. So when you see the criminal ex-BRGIE cabinet members, the criminal lobbyists that are parading with them in the name of trying to restore Biafra, government works. So when you see the criminal ex-BRGIE cabinet members, the criminal lobbyists that are parading with them in the name of trying to restore Biafra, Biafra government works. So when you see the criminal ex-BRGIE cabinet members, the criminal lobbyists that are parading with them in the name of trying to restore Biafra, Biafrans already stopped them on their track.
Greetings, Biafran people. I bring you warm greetings from the Biafran government in exile and de facto in the homeland. It may be late in your time and it may be early. It could be morning, it could be afternoon, it could be night, and it could be winter, it could be summer. It could be autumn. Whichever one, I give you salutations. Yes. I salute the Chief of Defense Staff of the Biafra Republic government in exile and de facto in the homeland, in the person of General Igwe Butuzo. Yes. My salute to you, my general. My salute to you, my general, and congratulations to you, General Igwe Butuzo, on your official appointment and swearing in as the Chief of Defense Staff, Land and Air and Sea of the United States of Biafra, as we move on to see that Biafra is fully liberated. Your work and your command and your services to the Biafran people are loyal to you and they appreciate. The same way they appreciate the Prime Minister, the same way they appreciate our Supreme Leader, the same way they appreciate our eternal leader, the same way they appreciate the former President of Biafra, Philip Effiong, and all the heroes and heroines of our time, the same way they appreciate Wazirike, the same way they appreciate all the donors and Biafrans that are serving in one way or another, the same way they appreciate the fellow generals and commanders and every military personnel of the Biafra Defense Forces. So we say congratulations to the Chief of Defense Staff of the Biafran government. General Igwe Butuzo, I give you my salute and all your men on ground because your sacrifices and your men have been enormous. Without you, Biafra land would have been taken over by the Fulani terrorists today. Without you, our lands would have been totally desolated. Without you and your men, we wouldn't have a Biafra to continue to fight on. The defense of Biafra land, the military wing, the armed wing of Biafra land is the lifeline of a nation. And you people have kept us alive on this Biafran restoration. We will fight with you all standing in the defense to see that Biafra is fully liberated and Biafrans will have a home to call their own and to be able to constitutionally unite for a conference that will take full control of Biafra land. I salute you and your men, and we continue to remain loyal to you. Nothing will stop us as we move on. Thank you to Biafran people, yes. And I congratulate all the newly appointed officials of BRGIE. You see, I owe the military, the defense, and IX team. Because without this defense, the genocide and massacre ongoing in Zamfara, Borno Plateau, Niger, Benue, Kano, Kaduna, there have been series of bombings for the past 48 hours, 72 hours, and 24 hours, and for the past 1 week. But the Biafra Defense Forces, under the control and supervision of General Igwe Butuzo, the Chief of Defense Staff of the Biafran government, Biafra land is safe and secured. We've had few casualties from the genocide and slaughter that the terrorists did in Yamufu, in Osu, Idemili, and Owerri State, and some other parts of Biafra land. But that does not deter us, because they will kill us, we will kill them. At the end, Biafra must be restored. Life must be taken for there to be redemption, and for there to be freedom, there must be remissions of things so that we can be able to restore our own in our own time. Jesus Christ died according to the Bible story as a sacrificial lamb for his blood to be used for the remissions of our sins, so that we can now have a new life. No be so? People where they go church, make una help me analyze them, whether I talk lie. If Jesus Christ did not come as a sacrificial lamb to die, will there be a hope of life for all of us to now have another life? No, there wouldn't have been any. So there is sacrifice that needs to be paid for there to be redemption of Biafra. And we are fighting on to see that Biafra is fully liberated. I salute all Biafrans. The video of the lobbyists you just watched was first before the convention, after Prime Minister has been called up for interrogation. The second one I played was when Prime Minister inaugurated and introduced this legal and lobbies and attorney team to the Biafran people. And then, after Prime Minister was called up for interrogation, these lobbies wrote and said, let me bring it to the screen. For those of you that do not follow up,
they go they gossip, we go they fight. PM Simon Ekpa, you be the light. Therefore we must get freedom is our goal. If you like gossip, we go they roll. Biafra freedom, now our dream true. No matter the challenge, we go they push through. Not them go they on, we no go lose God. With faith and courage, we dey stand hard. Cause Simon Ekpa lead us through the storm. Biafra land calling, let's make it our norm. Ooh, ooh, ooh. is our goal. If you like gossip, we go the roll. Biafra freedom, now our dream true. No matter the challenge, we go the push through. Biafra freedom, now our dream true. No matter the challenge, we go the push through. Oh, get that. Let's go, let's do this now. Let's go to push through. Let's go, let's do this now. Whoa. What's up on the car? Lead us to the storm.
Okay, welcome back, Biafrans. After PM was called up for interrogation, this is the message that the lobbyists and attorneys, they drop for Biafran people. MNK asked for 100 men. Look at the date this message was written on. I'm coming to the main reason why I am here, but I'm connecting the dots. We all need to step up to embolden Biafrans, right? And be that 100 men for Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. In this time of difficulty, he said, I am willing to be that 100 men. We all need to be. The Prime Minister needs your strength and determination, not tears and despondency. We must be the change that we seek. This is a message that is coming from an attorney, speaking like a bona fide Biafran that should be agitated to stand up to see that all the structures that Prime Minister built will not be scattered because of the defense of Biafra land. You see, there is one thing here you need to understand. If these Biafra Defense Forces goes back to sleep and abandons everything, and said, because of the sabotage of some people, they are not going to do anything again. If these Biafra Defense Forces, if they now pull their hands and say they are not going to do anything again because of your sabotages, that you are trying to sabotage all their efforts, there is nothing else that these lobbyists will be doing in international community that will be useful. Do you hear me very well? Let me repeat again. If the Biafra Defense Forces considers your sabotages of how you people have tried to sabotage them and to destroy them since PM was taken in, calling them all manners of names, telling the world that they do not represent you again because they don't bow to you. If these Biafra Defense Forces that you people have now gone to go and do ID card, you have gone to go and do recruitment, you have gone to go and do ID code, you have gone to go and do bank account for your new groups of Biafra armed groups that you're forming, just to make sure you sabotage the one that was unveiled in Helsinki. Now, if these Biafra Defense Forces now stock their guns, if they pull their guns back, pack it, go back and sleep, there is nothing that these attorneys that Prime Minister contracted for the Biafran people for global recognition of Biafra, there is no effort that they will make that will be useful. Do you know why? Because the power of a country or a nation or a state is embedded in the defense, is embedded in the military. The military might of a country is the lifeline of that country. The military might of a country is the strength of that country. The military might of a country is what makes international community to listen to you and to even look at your face when you bring up your issues. If the military might of Israel was not very strong enough, if the military might of Israel was not very strong enough, when the terrorists invaded and then started killing them, and then you see Iran, you see Yemen, you see all the jihadist terrorist countries throwing in all their weapons against Israel. If the military might of Israel was not strong enough, nobody will even reckon with Israel. Even America, that is bragging under Joe Biden, they will not reckon with Israel. If you check something, you will always see that America will always go to stand where they will see something to benefit. They will not go to stand just because they want to come and defend you or the right of human beings. No. They will stand and speak where they see something that they will benefit, because they have to play the game of politics. Let me now remind you and put this message very straight for you to understand. During the 1967 to 1970 genocidal war of the Biafran people, America decided not to supply weapons or to sell weapons to Nigerian government. They also decided not to sell weapons to the Biafran government under Ojukwu. They preferred to stay neutral. They preferred to stay neutral. Why? Because they did not want to jeopardize their interests in Nigeria, because they understand that no matter, say, we dey fight war, Nigeria already has full sovereignty, and they know what they are benefiting from Nigeria. And so, for them not to be called up for crime against humanity, for supplying weapons to be used to kill people that are fighting for their own independence, that is why they decided to remain on a neutral ground. Instead, they prefer to be given relief materials. While all these were going on, good patriotic citizens of America were clamoring and even giving support to the Biafran side. And they were also writing petitions to the American Congress for them to look into the Biafran cause. But there was no lobbyist or attorney that was for the Biafran side to carry this thing to go inside. Now, come back to Israel. Israel had to do what? Sell weapons to Nigeria and also do some to Biafra. Because they didn't, at the end of the day, when they saw that the Biafrans were so much massacred, Israel now did what? They now pulled and stopped selling weapons, started giving relief to the Biafran side. Are you getting the point? Are you understanding something? So countries and nations will always look at where they are going to get their political interests, their diplomatic interests. So I was saying that if the military might, the defense of Israel was not optimum as we are standing now, as they are fighting, you will not see America take sides or come and give them the big support that they give, because they have come to understand that Israel have built a very good and strong military might. So America will always go to that side to be able to align with them and then use it tomorrow to fight those that will come to fight America. Listen up. American government will not always come and fight for you only. They will always look for where they will see their own interest. So that tomorrow when it happens, they will also look forward to see you coming to their aid. So my point is, if the Biafra Defense Forces here put down their arms because of the sabotage that NGOZI is doing with Solomon, the efforts of the Biafran attorneys and lobbyists will become a waste. No matter any work that they will be doing in the international community, it will not be felt anywhere again. Because when American government that they are doing all that they can, looks up and see that the defense of Biafra land is nothing to write home about, that our military might is nothing to write home about, they will not give so much attention to the political and diplomatic recognition again. So the lifeline of this liberation and whatever that we are going to do in the international community depends 95% on the military might and strength of our defense in the homeland. That is why when you look at the documents of the criteria for recognition of a country as a government in exile, one, you need the support of your people from the country that you are fighting out to liberate. Biafran people has given that with the over 50 million self-referendum results voting that they conducted. You now come to the military might. The military might of a country is another second criteria. How is your defense? Is your defense provable that they are able to defend your sovereignty and to stand your ground and to take care of the assailants and the terrorists that will be coming into your land? Yes, the Biafra land defense is optimum. Do you think that if the Biafra land defense was not optimum, if the defense headquarters of the Biafra Republic government in exile was not optimum, that the lobbyists will even attend to us? No. When you listen to the lobbyists and the attorneys spoke, they said that they have looked at and see that the Prime Minister has taken the Biafra to a greater height. Considering the defense, listen very well, considering the defense, how he has arranged the defense of Biafra land, the military might, coming down to the diplomatic, with all the internationally recognized Biafra liaison offices under the government in exile, which serves as a connecting body. Now, for these liaison offices to work and to be very active, you have to now connect it to the headquarters. And the headquarters now has to sit at where you have optimum power, where America will speak and others will follow. That is why we have the Baltimore headquarters office in America. And that is why the headquarters of the Biafra Republic government in exile is registered in the American Justice Department. We did not take it to Kenya. We did not take it to Finland. We did not take it to Norway. We did not take it to Switzerland. We did not take it to Saudi Arabia. We did not take it to China. We did not take it to Indonesia. We did not take it to Russia. We did not take it to South Africa. We did not take it to Senegal, Mali, or Gambia. No, we took it to where men will speak and things will happen. That is America. Where America will speak and others will follow. Where it is the seat of power of the entire world. Where the president elected in America is the president of the entire world. That is why Prime Minister used his brain and uses number 6 to locate the highest and experience of attorneys to do this work. If you listen to the attorney that was speaking there, the global firm representative, he said they have been serving in the Congress for quarter of a century. Quarter of a century is what? Somebody should help me explain. Quarter of a century. Someone should help me explain so that you understand what it means. And they have done so much. So Prime Minister did not just pick them haphazardly. No, he picked them from their records of what they have done. He picked them from recommendations given to the Biafran government in exile. He picked them from looking at their resumes. to know what they have achieved, how far they've gone, and what is obtainable in what we need. So when you now come here to see the kind of courage and the kind of words that our lobbyists gave to Biafran people after the called up of PM for interrogation, this is what every Biafran should be talking about. This is the kind of message that every Biafran should be saying. But it is now a lobbyist that we are now contracting to come and help us get the global recognition of Biafra. He is even the one now telling you what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said. How Mazi Nnamdi Kanu had streamlined the restoration of Biafra. How Prime Minister fit in to make the 100 men. And then he is willing to also at this time convert himself to work like the Prime Minister just to sacrifice for the Biafran people. Honorable Elias, our lobbyists, we are so grateful to have you. Because you speak as if you were a born Biafran. And I can tell you that if you were a born Biafran, they would have betrayed you and you wouldn't have been this good to be able to deliver with so much intellect. You are far away, but look at the way you are willing to become one of the 100 men. This message was written in November 23, 2024, after our PM was called up for interrogation. You are ready to become one of the 100 men to make sure that the called up of PM for interrogation does not sabotage everything that he has laid down for us to do. You encourage Biafrans that there is already a template that Prime Minister gave you to work with, and that you are not going to back down. You're not going to throw it into the trash. You are going to make sure you go with that same template, whether you see Prime Minister or you don't see, because he has instructed you of what to do, and you guys know your work. All you were waiting for was, let us go to the convention and come back, get the document, and off we go. We say thank you. We say thank you. Because you can see men that are actually doing something, not talking too much. Did it stop here? It did not stop here. Let me bring another message. Let me bring another message. On that same day, he tweeted another one. On that same 23 November of 2024, after we heard that our PM has been called up for interrogation. Now, I want everyone to read this other one. He said, my Biafran friends should know that I am committed to continue lobby for the Biafran government. During this difficult time, the Biafran people should know I will never leave them. Is this man talking like a Biafran or a lobbyist or attorney that is contracted and is just to be paid? Or he's talking like a freedom fighter? Or he's talking like a fellow Biafran like me? Hey! These are some kind of convincing words that you will hear from Prime Minister's mouth, and you will hear from Onyendu's mouth, and you will hear from the Biafra Defense Forces mouth. Now, surprisingly, you're hearing this kind of convincing words from the attorneys and lobbies that we have, ready not to back down, not one iota, not one bit, but what? To put more fire to see that Biafra is restored and we get our recognition no matter any circumstances. What do you need from a committed attorney and lobbyist than this? There are many that would have declined and abandoned whatever job that Prime Minister gave them. Immediately they saw that Prime Minister was called up for interrogation. But just be looking at and be reading the tweets of the honorable lobbyists that that Prime Minister brought for us. He's like God produced him and kept him somewhere for us. That at the D-Day, God will just bring him for us. And God has brought him for the right purpose and at the right time. And with all the wave of events, this was on 23 November 2024. This was when he wrote this thing. We were made to understand that PM was called up for interrogation, I think on 21st. His last tweet was on the 18th, early in the morning. 19, we didn't see him. 20, we didn't see him. 21st, that was when the news came clear. Then it was on the 23rd that the lobbies and attorney representative wrote this thing for us. Let me read down. My Biafran friends should know that I am committed to continue lobby for the Biafran government. During this difficult time, the Biafran people should know I will never leave them. You stand by your friends when they are facing challenges. And His Excellency Simon Ekpa is not only a client, but a close friend. The Prime Minister, to him, is not just a client, but a close friend. I am also sending this as a signal to the Nigerian agents. Hey, woto lobbies, woto attorney. This one don't come woto pastors. Some of whom have put out celebratory predictions that I will drop the Biafran government soon as a client in light of the recent circumstances. You see exactly what I said. Many people will assume and presume and think that immediately that Prime Minister was called up for interrogation, that these attorney and lobbies, they will abandon Prime Minister and abandon the Biafran government in exile. With the contract and the registration document that binded their contract and everything that they have to do. Many would think that they will run and abandon us. He said, that will never happen. Only in their fantasies, they are dreaming. And they are seeing dreams in big, big mirror. And then he came to give you encouragement again in a big way. He said, we will achieve the international recognition Biafra deserves, regardless of their effort to stop us. Oh my God. This one don't give me big fire. Hey! Elias, the lobbies of the Biafran government and the attorneys of the Biafra Republic government in exile, you guys are giving us more strength with your words. I can't imagine reading this and hearing this from a lobbyist, an attorney that we called up. Is it not a Ejiofor that betrayed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Is it not a Ejiofor that became the eye of one Nigeria? Is it not a Ejiofor that became the eye of one Nigeria inside IPOB? Is it not a Ejiofor that betrayed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and instructed the DOS of how they will be able to stockpile everything in IPOB while they pretend that nothing has happened to Onyendu? While they pretend that nothing has happened to Onyendu, he gave them the ways and manners of who will be using Onyendu's Twitter handle to be tweeting. They continue tweeting, talking to Biafrans as if it is Onyendu, until the day Onyendu was seen in the court, blindfolded and chained. It was Sowore that saw it when he went for his court hearing, and he came out to blow the news. That very day, they were tweeting with Onyendu's Twitter handle to tell us that it is Onyendu that is tweeting. And we believed. Immediately they saw that Sowore has blown the news that Onyendu has been brought into court, blindfolded and chained. They stopped tweeting. The media went akok. I can also tell you people that they have made attempts to do what? to bring down Prime Minister's official Twitter page since he was called up for interrogation. I'm telling you now, they have made attempts. I've not said this before. They have made attempts to bring down Prime Minister's Twitter official account. It is not everything that we see that we will come out and make noise and say it. Because even if you say something to a fool for 100 years, it will not enter into their stick scores. Tomorrow they will still paint your face and write you traitor. I'm telling you all today that after Prime Minister was called up for interrogations, they have made serious attempts to bring down Prime Minister's Twitter's account. Make una hear am today. Many things will happen. We are just watching. We keep records. Same way that they were using Onyendu's Twitter's account to be tweeting that it is Onyendu that is talking. Biafran people, I salute you. I just wanted to refresh your mind on the kind of lobbyists, the attorneys, the legal team that God gave to the Biafran government. Yes, I wanted you to know and see how God bless us. Everything that is happening is a blessing in disguise. If Prime Minister was not called up unduly for this interrogation, you will not have seen the true nature of many people, that they can wake up one day and tell you that this very lobbyist that Prime Minister contracted for Biafran people and the attorneys, that they are criminals. You will not have known that somebody will wake up someday and say that this lobbyist and attorney that Prime Minister contracted for Biafran people are criminals. You would not have had it. You wouldn't have had that all the effort that these lobbies and attorney made possible for the Biafran government Prime Minister to meet and shake hands with the Speaker of the US Congress using his Prime Minister, his Finance Minister. You wouldn't have believed that today they will tell you that these lobbies that made all this to happen are criminals if Prime Minister was not called up for interrogation because of Biafra. These lobbies and attorneys made all this possible on the legal entity registered in the American justice system, Biafra Republic Government in Exile, BRGIE. If only a prime minister was not called up for interrogation, you will not have believed and come to accept or understand that the prime minister took his time and then searched and then brought out good attorneys and lobbies for the recognition of Biafra. And then some people will wake up today and tell you that they are criminals. But look at what all these lobbies have done before now. Look at the strides that they have pulled. Look at where they took us to. Look at how far we have been even before the convention. Even before the convention. Look at where we have gone. Look at where we have been even before the convention. Just look at what they have done. You wouldn't have believed that today somebody will wake up and tell you that these lobbies and attorneys are criminals. You see? So it's like they called up Prime Minister for interrogation, and it became a time of probation for us to now see the real people that we're working with the Prime Minister. You will not also have known that the Biafra Defense Forces that were unveiled in Helsinki, October 2023, that somebody will wake up today and tell you that these Biafra Defense Forces are sabo, they are criminals, and that they do not represent the Biafran government. You wouldn't have believed if Prime Minister was not called up for interrogation. If he was not taken out of the sphere for you to now use your brain to reason, you wouldn't have understood. You wouldn't have understood. No. That the IOU that Prime Minister unveiled for the Biafran people to sustain the defense, that people will wake up today and tell you that that IOU is a scam. The same IOU that was also unveiled in the convention that we just finished. Yesterday, I played the video where they were unveiling the IOU in the convention. After they finished, they came back house and they start telling you that the IOU that Prime Minister unveiled was what? A scam. Prime Minister was singing from January of 2024 that 2nd December is sacrosanct. That 2nd December is the day. It must happen no matter what happens. He said, even if I am not there, that day must be there, 2nd December. But when you saw them talking, NGOZI was now telling you, 29th is sacrosanct. Hey! Hello, Mero. So all this while that Prime Minister was saying 2nd December is sacrosanct, NGOZI did not agree with it. NGOZI was like, why must it be on 2nd December? So NGOZI turned on to be 29. And then she even had the guts to stand there on the pulpit and say, 29 December is sacrosanct. So just to counter the 2nd December is sacrosanct that Prime Minister has been saying. Hey! Hello, Mero. Hello, Mero. Let me see if I can get that video where she made it, the pronouncement that 29 December is sacrosanct.
They go, they gossip, we go, they fight. PM Simon Ekpa, you be the light. Biafra we must get. Freedom is our goal. If you like gossip, we go the road. Biafra freedom, now I dream true. No matter the challenge, we go the push through. Not them go the yard, we no go lose God. With faith and courage, we dey stand hard. All the time and the far, lead us through the storm. Biafra land calling, let's make it our norm. Freedom is our goal. If you like gossip, we go the road. Biafra freedom, now my dream true. No matter the challenge, we go the push through. Biafra freedom, now my dream true. No matter the challenge, we go the push through. Biafra land calling, let's make it our norm. Biafra know that bar, lead us through the storm. Biafra land calling, let's make it our norm. They go the gossip, we go the fight. PM Simon Ekpa, you be the lights. Biafra we must get. Freedom is our goal. If you like gossip, we go the road. Biafra freedom, now I dream true. No matter the challenge, we go the push through. Not them go the yard, we no go lose God. With faith and courage, we dey stand hard. All the time and the far, lead us through the storm. Biafra land calling, let's make it our norm. Biafra we must get. Freedom is our goal. If you like gossip, we go the road. Biafra freedom, now I dream true. No matter the challenge, we go the push through. Biafra freedom, now I dream true. No matter the challenge, we go the push through. Oh, get that. Let's go this to this now. Let's go the push through. Let's go this to this now. Oh, Simon Ekpa, lead us through the storm. Biafra land calling, let's make it our norm. Biafra know that bar, lead us through the storm. Biafra land calling, let's make it our norm. They go the gossip, we go the fight. PM Simon Ekpa, you be the lights. Biafra we must get. Freedom is our goal. If you like gossip, we go the road. Biafra freedom, now I dream true. No matter the challenge, we go the push through. Not them go the yard, we no go lose God. With faith and courage, we dey stand hard. All the time and the far, lead us through the storm. Biafra land calling, let's make it our norm. get. Freedom is our goal. If you like gossip, we go the roll. Biafra.
But that 29th of November is sacrosanct. Week, it could last 2 weeks, it could last 3 weeks, it could last a month. But that 29th of November is sacrosanct. It could last 3 weeks, it could last a month. But that 29th of November is sacrosanct. It could last 3.
So it was all about 2nd December that PM said is sacrosanct, not to be sacrosanct, then 29 will become sacrosanct. Hello, Mero. Prime Minister, in every publication, 2nd of December, there was nothing. Wait, I'm going to play a video. Prime Minister outlined every event according to how they will be happening in the convention, from beginning to the end. And he gave responsibilities to the convention committee on how to carry out step by step, step by step. That is why I tagged the title of this program, Did NGOZI let Biafrans vote to adopt the Constitution of the United States of Biafra constitutionally, as it is supposed to be done? If you were in Finland, did you vote as a delegate, same way that the referendum committee made sure that the 517 delegates voted to ratify and adopt the declaration that was done? Because without the ratification, without the voting and adopting that declaration, it is null and void. Just like you have 56 delegates of America that voted, adopted, and ratified the Declaration of America. 56 delegates is what you see on the document. There you had 517 on that day present, which was their mandate to vote and adopt and ratify the declaration. Was the Constitution, which was supposed to be constitutionally voted, adopted, and ratified by the 517 delegates, was it? Did NGOZI allow it to be done? The same way that the declaration document was read, that is the way that the Constitution was supposed to be read, so that Biafrans will see what it is all about. Just like you saw what the declaration document was all about, you will understand at the end of the day, you will now vote and adopt and ratify the existence of that constitution to be constitutionally adopted. NGOZI carried the program and turned it upside down, did not allow the committee chairmen to do what they are supposed to do. When you heard her say that they wanted to destroy the convention, she actually was the one setting trap for every official of the committee to be able to cause chaos, so that she will now say these persons are causing chaos. Because Prime Minister gave the Constitution, the committee of the convention every step by step of how everything needs to be done. But NGOZI came and scrapped the program, turned it upside down, not even listening to the recommendations that the committee were giving her, and said this is how constitutionally Prime Minister said it must be done to go with the standard and ethics of the world, because we are doing a world-class declaration. So, Prime Minister now, in all his messages from January, when he told you that he knows the day Biafra will come, listen, Prime Minister told you from when he entered this Biafra, a time came that he started telling you, I know the day Biafra will come. I know the day Biafra will come. Until all of you said, say it, tell us this day. Then he finally unveiled and said, on the 2nd of December, 2024, that is the day the declaration of Biafra will sing the voices of Biafra. So little do we know that, as Prime Minister was saying, 2nd of December is sacrosanct. 2nd of December is sacrosanct. 2nd of December is sacrosanct. There are people that did not agree that it must be is 2nd of December sacrosanct. I want to ask you, if you were the chairman of the committee of the convention and you carry your program according to the way it has been drafted and submitted to the Biafran government before now, you now go to the pulpit. And on the 29th, we were to sing praises. Then you reach there, according to the program, you now want to start singing your praises. Then NGOZI now come and say she's scrapping the program to change it and do what she wants to do. By herself alone, no. Not with the deliberation of anybody, by herself alone. If you were the chairman of the convention, when you are already on the pulpit, when every Biafran have gathered and watching you, and Sonny and the media team have already projected the pulpit to the entire wall, and the entire wall are watching and seeing everything that is happening there on the stage, I am asking you, if you were the chairman of the convention committee and the coordinator of the program, that you are on the stage and all NGOZI is coming to scrap your program there on stage, what will you have done? Will you create a scene on that stage? Or you will try to allow peace to reign so that the entire world will not see that the place has been turned into chaos? They control everything and allow her to do how she wants to do, so that we can just have this declaration and work out. So that 2nd of December sacrosanct, and the Prime Minister was singing. Prime Minister singing. He goes to America town hall meeting, he sing. He go to UK, he sing. He go to Europe, he sing. He come to Africa, he sing. He goes to everywhere, he sing. Anywhere that he goes, he sing. Sacrosanct of 2nd of December.
Freedom, now I dream true. No matter the challenge, we go to push through. Ever freedom, now I dream true. No matter the challenge, we go to push through. Let's go to still this now. Let's go to push through. Let's go to still this now. Lead us through the storm. Biafra calling. Let's make it our norm. Biafra, lead us through the storm. Biafra calling. Let's make it our norm. They go, they gossip, we go, they fight. PM Simon Ekpa, you be the lights. Biafra we must get, freedom is our goal. If you like gossip, we go, they roll. Biafra freedom, now I dream true, no matter.
So, 2nd of December is sacrosanct, PM preach. 2nd of December is sacrosanct, PM preach. 2nd of December is sacrosanct, PM preach. But
the Independence Week. It could last a week, it could last 2 weeks, it could last 3 weeks, it could last a month, but that 29th of November is sacrosanct. It could last 3 weeks, it could last a month, but that 29th of November is sacrosanct. Last 2 weeks, it could last 3 weeks, it could last a month, but that 29th of November is sacrosanct.
Che, hello, Mero. hello, okay, Mero. Hello, Mero. And then she deceives all of you and say, Nigerian government were coming, or she got intel from Nigerian government. The Nigerian government is coming into Finland to come and destroy convention inside Finland. Nigerian government have tried so much to kill prime minister several times. And when they come, when they send them come, Finland government will pick them up and they cannot pass. Now, they pick prime minister out from that convention ground so that we can have a free and fair and peaceful convention. And somebody is playing you mind games to tell you, I did what I did because I got intel from Nigeria. Oh, so you're communicating with your Nigerian politicians. They tell you what to do, how to disrupt the thing, change it, change the date. So now, 2nd of December, the Prime Minister was singing for years as sacrosanct, sacrosanct, sacrosanct. Today, it is that 29th is sacrosanct. And they were saying it there in that very convention. That 29 is sacrosanct. It is no more that 2nd of December is sacrosanct again. Because they wanted it to be not the 2nd of December sacrosanct. They wanted it to be 29th of December is sacrosanct, so that whatever PM had said, he should not stand on that 2nd. Alumero, if PM was not taken for interrogation, all of you would not have seen all these true colors of some people. You would not have seen that IOU have now been marked scam. You will not have seen that Biafra Defense Forces will now be marked scam. You will not also see that the Biafra USBT Ejema coin, where Biafrans are staking their money to make profit, NGOZI will now mark a scam. Che, hello, Kimero. I welcome Biafrans once again. Now, let me now go to the main thing that actually brought me. This one was just to give a brochure. Let me go to the main thing that actually brought me here. This is what actually brought me here tonight. The Constitution of the United States of Biafra. The Constitution of the United States of Biafra, for it to be legally instituted and the way it should have been well done in that convention, was properly communicated to the Biafran people and to the convention committee by the Prime Minister. That Biafran people, the same way they voted to adopt and ratify the declaration document, that it is the same way they voted and also ratified and adopted the result of the referendum, which we started in February 2024 and ended on the 28th of November 2024. That same way that we voted and adopted, to use that ratification to ratify the declaration, that same way that the 517 delegates voted to adopt, is the same way that Biafrans were supposed to vote, adopt, ratify the Constitution. But NGOZI scrapped the process. So I'm asking Biafrans, did Biafrans or did NGOZI let Biafrans vote to ratify and adopt the Constitution the way it was supposed to be? Why did she scrap that process? Why? Why did you scrap the process? Let me now bring one thing first to explain something to Biafrans. Listen very well, oh.
The reason I want to touch on this particular history is so that you understand that Biafra will do exactly the same thing and even more. And it will happen this year. Those cabinet members and delegates that will come to Helsinki in 2024 will have their signature appended on our document of the Declaration of the Restoration of Independent State of Biafra in 2024. The President Tinubu to the Vice President are all foreigners. The reason I want to touch on this particular history is so that you understand that Biafra will do exactly the same thing and even more. And it will happen this year. Those cabinet members and delegates that will come to Helsinki in 2024 will have their signature appended on our document of the Declaration of the Restoration of Independent State of Biafra in 2024. Health system were also introduced. The armed anti-Soviet partisan were liquidated by 1953. Approximately 130,000 Lithuanians, dubbed enemies of the people, were deported into Siberia. And this happened in June deportation and March deportation. After the death of Joseph Stalin in 1953, the Soviet Union adopted de-Stalinization policies and ended mass persecution. Non-violent resistance continued both in Lithuania and among the Lithuanian diaspora. This movement were secret, illegal, and more focused on social issues, human rights and cultural affairs rather than political demands. The reason I want to touch on this particular history is so that you understand that Biafra will do exactly the same thing and even more. And it will happen this year. Those cabinet members and delegates that will come to Helsinki in 2024 will have their signature appended on our document of the Declaration of the Restoration of Independent State of Biafra in 2024.
Now, I hope you just listened to Prime Minister, right? What did he say? He said, all of you will append your signatures on the declaration document, right? And that is what will make the document legal. And that is what will make the document a living document and a standing document. And that is what will make the document constitutional. And that is what will make the document to go into history, just like you have 56 delegates that have gone into history to have endorsed their declaration document in America, in Finland, in Switzerland, in Lithuania, and other countries. To you, the 517 delegates that went to Finland, Your signatures on the document is what made the declaration valid. NGOZI told some of you that it's only our own signature that made the document valid, that she's the only one that declared Biafra. Now I am going to take you to Prime Minister's one of his messages, and then you will hear when he is explaining to Biafrans every event that will happen in the convention. And as he was telling you this, he is telling you the date that this one will happen, the date that this one will happen, because he has already drawn out everything and given to the planning committee of the convention committees of what they need to do and how they need to go about it. So it was not even about the prime minister. It was about the Biafran people, because he has done what? Division of labor, breaking down of works into smaller units to everyone to know where they have to stand, what they have to do, where they should not go and meddle, what they should not go and touch, what they should focus on and what they should not, how they should speak and how they should not. So he gave the job to the planning committee, who did this job judiciously in 2023 convention. The same chairman, and then brought in some other brains to put more hands together to help her to make it a success. I am going there now. Follow me. Follow me to that place.
The more the
Okay, here we are. And I welcome my Prime Minister to the screen as he's going to speak to the Biafran people. Step by step, everything that we are going to do in the convention, what you will do, what you will not do, where you need to stand, where you should not stand, what you should not go and touch, and what we are going to achieve, and how we are going to do it, so that we will have the result that the entire world will be marveled in history. Listen to Prime Minister.
My fellow Biafrans, December 2nd, we are going to make history.
You see where it started? My fellow Biafrans, December 2nd, we are going to make history. Wait, let me come back to Madam Yumosba. Let me just touch Madam Yumosba. Let me touch Madam Yumosba. Where is it? Let me touch Madam Yumosba and wake her up where she is. Hold on, I'm coming. I want to touch Madam Yumosba so that you hear Prime Minister say, December 2nd is sacrosanct. We must make the history. Hey, hello, Mero. Hello. Hello.
So we are in the Independence Week. It could last a week, it could last 2 weeks, it could last 3 weeks, it could last a month, but that 29th of November is sacrosanct. It could last a month, but that 29th of November is sacrosanct. It could last a month, but that 29th of November is sacrosanct.
Now, just suppose the two of them. People who know how to speak grammar, they say compare and contrast.
There is a need for you to support Biafra, because that is where the Pan-Africanism will rise. You need people in the government that knows what Africa people need. And Biafra have young, vibrant men and women who will make that Pan-Africanism to become a reality. So if you don't support Biafra, your dream is dead and dead on arrival. My fellow Biafrans, December 2nd, we are going to make history.
December 2nd, we are going to make history. Madam told you this 29 is sacrosanct because she succeeded in changing it from December 2nd to 29th of November. So it now became this 29 is sacrosanct. You could have as well tried and say, oh, we hurriedly declared it on the 29th, but that very date that our Prime Minister has dreamt and longed for to be second, as we do the ratification and adopt the referendum result and the voting of the delegate, we are adopting that date of my Prime Minister because it is the date that he has sung for years. But no, it was meant to see that that is own date, Prime Minister. 2nd December is sacrosanct. 2nd December is sacrosanct. 2nd December is sacrosanct. Is taken out. It will now become that 29th is sacrosanct. Chai! Hello, Mero. Hello. Hello, Kimerebe. Let's continue.
This December 2nd is sacrosanct.
This December 2nd is sacrosanct. Oh my God. This December 2nd is sacrosanct. But what did Madame do? Madame, let me go back again. Madame has succeeded in removing the sacrosanct of Prime Minister to become our own sacrosanct. Hey, hey.
Last 2 weeks, it could last 3 weeks, it could last a month, but that 29th of November is sacrosanct.
That is all about. That is all about it. And that 29th now is sacrosanct for her. While your PM was making 2nd of December sacrosanct for the entire year.
And dead on arrival. My fellow Biafrans, December 2nd, we are going to make history. This December 2nd is sacrosanct.
This December 2nd is sacrosanct. Hey, hey. Hello. Hello, Kimerime. Hello.
In the history of Biafra, as we are going to fulfill our destiny on that very day, the heaven and the earth will stand still to witness the occasion. The sun will bear witness and the enemies will tremble. As the world behold the emergence of the United States of Biafra on international stage. For decades, Biafra have stood firm, fearless, resilient, and unwavering against Nigeria terrorism, and oppressors. Today, we on the brakes of the new era. We are ready to claim and reclaim our destiny and officially restore Biafra as an independent nation. This isn't just the culmination of journey. It is fulfillment of a dream that our ancestors and heroes set in motion long time ago, between 1967 and 1970. Their vision is now our reality, and every Biafran alive today is part of this historic legacy. Those of you in the United States that has made us to realize this dream up to this point, you are a hero and heroine of the Biafra nation. The Biafra Convention 2024, from November 29 to December 3rd, 2024, these days.
I want you to listen up. Prime Minister is about to outline. He's about to outline point by point every activity that will happen. Is going to outline now, so that if somebody now came and told you that she is the one that did it, go and ask her first, what happened to the arrangement that was done from February? What happened to the committees that Prime Minister set up from step 1 to step 100? What happened to the referendum committee that Prime Minister set up, which they have been working from February 2024 to the 28th midnight, which the referendum portal closed. That was when the referendum stopped. So what happened to that committee? What were they doing? Why were they set up? The convention committee that we're having meeting every now and then. You see the cultural department. When there is something peculiar about the cultural department, all those people that you see that were dancing in different attires, have you asked yourself, when did they come together in one place to do the practice and to rehearse, to be able to now dance and practice and display everything in unison? In unison. These people were having sleepless nights, having meetings upon meetings, the convention committee, department by department, section by sections. They are having meetings. The technical department, which is part of the media, we were also having meetings with the technical crews that you saw, those Finland people that you saw that were part of the technical crews. The media team were also having meetings with them always to see how we are going to coordinate the event. Everyone in their different departments, they were doing and working one or two to see that results all come together on that day. Prime Minister gave work to everybody, division of labor. So there's one thing peculiar about the cultural department, because for you to now be able to dance and everyone will be dancing on the same steps, people need to be physically at one place now. But God gave this minister of the cultural department the wisdom of how these people can be able to coordinate. Do you know what it means to be coordinating yourselves in a Zoom meeting? And you'll be practicing everything from February, practicing ahead of the convention till November. And even when they arrived there, they still had to do more practices before they climbed the stage to come and display everything that you saw there. They took time to practice. So everything was well decentralized and everybody knew where they were serving. Now, listen to Prime Minister giving you a lowdown of how everything will be going, because he has already given job to everybody to do, and everybody have done their job. It's just to come out that day and deliver. So if you come there, you don't see Prime Minister. Prime Minister went for interrogation. It is just for you to submit to the chairman of the convention committee. She will call you up according to the approval and program that Prime Minister has approved. You come, you go and do your own. Time reach, you go and do your own, because everybody already knew when they are going to come out and discharge their duties one after another.
Biafran from all over the walks of life will gather in Lahti, Finland, for a 5-day event that will mark the beginning of the new era for generations to come. This is more than just convention, and I'm telling you, the enemy are not happy. They have done everything thinking that Nigeria can control and can get anything they want. But today, we're not just asthmating them. We're showing to them that not every country supports evil. It's a unification of a people reclaiming their identity, purpose, and future. The energy will be electrifying, historic, and the pride uncontainable as Biafrans come together to declare their restoration of their sovereignty. This monumental and historical event will showcase the symbol of our independence and identity, and here's what we have in stocks. For those who have been asking questions, what is this convention?
This is what we have in stock. Listen very well. For those of you that ask, these are all the programs that were already stipulated out. Listen to PM.
All about. You want to declare independence in a foreign land? We are not declaring independence in a foreign land. The independence of Biafra has already been declared. We are only restoring our lost sovereignty, just like the Lithuanians. The point is that the people don't read history. We are not going to be the first country to restore a lost sovereignty state. We will launch the Biafra National Identity Card and Passport during the Finland Convention. Finally, making...
Did you hear that? That we will launch the Biafra National Identity Card and Passport, unveiling it for the world to see. So Prime Minister put everything in place. Are you listening?
In every Biafran place and belonging official across the globe, we will unveil Biafra Ejema.
We will unveil Biafra Ejema. Didn't you see it in the convention? Everything was properly presented and prepared. Prime Minister gave everybody all this day. We were all prepared. It was just for the convention chairman and the committee to handle everything the way he has stipulated them all. Listen, for someone that wakes up yesterday and tell you she's the one that did everything, listen. There are teams that were working, decentralized by Prime Minister to do everything. It was just on that day we go to the stage. When you are called up, you come, you present your own. When you are called up, you come, you present your own. Everything were fully done and prepared with the committees that he gave the works to do.
During this convention, the Biafra currency will be unveiled, a testament to our economic independence and strength. The flag of the United States of Biafra will be raised, standing tall.
Did you hear that? The flag of the United States of Biafra will be raised, standing tall, hereby or whereby bringing down the one of the zoo. Because as you raise the independence, United States of Biafra flag, you bring down that of the zoo to show what? Your power. So everything that you saw that we did in the convention were all stipulated out by the Prime Minister. How we are going to do it, the way we should go about it. Listen very well.
As a banner of our unity and resilience, representing Biafra to the world, we also will adopt the Biafra-Constitution.
Did you hear that? He said we will also adopt the Biafra-Constitution. We will adopt Biafra-Constitution. How was the adoption done? Like you adopted the declaration document. How did you adopt the Biafra Constitution there? He's going to come back again and still explain this Biafra Constitution for all of you to understand how the adoption of it will be done. Wait, it's coming.
During this convention, a document that enshrines our rights, principles, and governance for our new nation.
Because the Constitution is supposed to be a sacred document, something that should be gathered holy. It's a document that shows the world what our new nation is going to be. So you have to do it transparently so that the entire world will see how you unveil it on the big screen, just like I came out on that screen and I spoke to Biafrans, and every other exposition we've done. You will unveil it there. They will see the hardcover. They will now see, as you read bit by bit, explain, and then show them the same way the declaration document we read. Everybody will see, and they will have a clue. It will be in history. Not that we just have to do everything jaka jaka, fast, 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 fast. No, it is to put history in place for centuries to come, because now there is what? Social media. History will carry everything that happened
during this convention. We'll also present the map of the United States of Biafra.
We will present the map. Didn't you see the map? The map that was finalized. Ngozi was telling you that she's the one that drew the map. Hello, Mero. The map that each of the county heads and chairmen and district and administrators of state, they put their heads together to draw their map and come and submit. After this, do and bring. Prime Minister will review it and say, this one, people need to go and do it again. They will go back and work on it again. Several times, several state administrators will go and do like this and come back, go and do like this and come back. But because he was deceiving all of you, that she's the one that drew the Biafran map and brought all the map together. Please, call on your state administrator in your state, in the 40 state of Biafra. Call on your state administrators or go to your state group, the 40 state of Biafra group where you are. Type a question there and say, how did our state map come about? Was it NGOZI that drew the map for us, or it was you people here in the state that came about the map? Ask them, go and ask them and hear the answer that they will give you. Prime Minister told you we are going to unveil the map, and then we did unveil it. You saw everything there. So tell me how it was NGOZI that did it, when Prime Minister has already put everything in place and shown us what we are going to do.
Officially defining our rightful borders and land. It is not just a map. It is a declaration of our place in the world. My fellow Biafrans in the US, we have dignitaries that will embrace the convention in Finland.
Did you hear that? All the dignitaries that you saw, Prime Minister made arrangement for all of them and instructed who have to make sure they are brought to the convention. Some were instructed to come through the APM, the finance minister, and some he dedicated others to other persons. So if you are the one that was dedicated to you, you do your own and bring the international dignitaries. All of you saw many international dignitaries there in the convention. It is this prime minister that you see here that put everything in place. But NGOZI came and told you she is the one that did everything, Abi. Chai. When they just shut the mouth of a king, the rat in the palace will now assume the throne. The rat in the palace will jump to go and sit on the throne of the palace and start making wee. To do what? To imitate and to mimic the way the king used to speak in parliament, the way the king used to speak in the palace to his king's men. Alumero.
Powerful policy makers from different parts of the world will be present in Finland. Powerful speeches will echo throughout the event with delegates and key international figures voicing our shared struggle for freedom, resilience, and determination. And in a formal oral declaration of independence, of the restoration of the independence of Biafra, we will outline each.
And in the formal oral declaration, did you hear that? In a formal oral declaration, that means somebody will open mouth and then read and make the declaration. A formal oral declaration. And we will now read line by line all the grievances and the declaration document for everybody to see. Prime Minister put everything in place, so listen.
Vital aspect of our freedom step by step, solidifying our path to sovereignty state. This convention will also feature national debate on the issue that matters most to our new
national debate. It has already happened. And you even saw the Biafran war veterans that were even sharing their experiences, where the national debate is already in the media sphere. The Biafra Declaration Convention is bound to spark the uproar in the media. PM put everything in place and put each person in each of these places to do 1 and 2.
new nation, uniting Biafrans from all backgrounds, representatives from across the 40 United States of Biafra, delegation from the different countries where Biafra has their liaison offices, and vote on bills, creating the legal backbone of our nation.
Did you hear when he said vote on bills? That means the Biafran people will have the power in the convention to vote and adopt a bill, and vote and adopt an act. They will vote and rectify some document. They will vote and rectify and adopt the Constitution. Are you listening? They will even vote and adopt a new structural government. They will even vote and adopt any bill that was approved prior for that convention to come up and be displayed. Anything that was not voted upon, that did not go in line with what Prime Minister had stipulated, it is foul.
The establishment of the declaration document will formally declare our restoration of.
The establishment of the declaration document will formally declare the restoration of the independence of Biafra. Did you even hear him say, I must be the one to declare it, I must be the one to read the document, No, he said the restoration document. It is that document that all of you will now put your signature, put your name, put your signature and put your name after we have read it orally and pronounce the declaration. It is your signature putting there that makes it the legal document.
Independence of Biafra, marking our collective vision for the future. And to seal this commitment, Biafra delegate will sign this historic document symbolizing our dedication to a free and independent Biafra.
To make this document legitimate, every Biafran available, all the delegate there, you must sign. If you don't sign, that means the document is invalid. The declaration is invalid. Everything we do there is invalid. Did you hear Prime Minister? He has explained it to you now, that everybody will have to sign the document, which makes it. I played a different program before where he still said the same thing. That day he was teaching us about the Lithuania Independence Declaration, how they came to be. This other day now, it was in USA Town Hall meeting. He still came back again to explain the template that you all have to do what? To sign the declaration document to make the convention that we are going and everything that we are doing to be legal. All of you to collectively sign and agree, because you are representatives and delegates from the 40 states of Biafra. NGOZI told you she's the one that did it all. When the Prime Minister has already put everything in place for the Biafran people and outlined how we are going to do it, NGOZI came in and said she must approve everything, and then she changed the date and now tell you that this 29 is sacrosanct. Contrary to the second that Prime Minister said, this second is sacrosanct. NGOZI came out to make sure she changed it to become 29. So that it will be her own way. Chai! Hello. Hello, Kimere.
This is just the tip of the iceberg, as many other incredible things will unfold as the United States of Biafra begin to formally enter into bilateral relationship with other existing nations of the world. And in this convention, we will have one of the imagining nation president to be part of it.
Did you hear that? When all of you saw the president of Eritrea, the Eritrea president, he said, one of the emerging nations. Eritrea has not governed, have not gotten their own independence and sovereignty and full control, just like we are emerging nations like them. Listen to me, just like we are emerging nations like them, Eritrea is also emerging. Ambazonia is also emerging. Prime Minister told you that we are going to have them. We are going to sign treaties with them, and we are going to see them in the convention. Is there anything different from what you saw there? Everything was properly arranged by Prime Minister. NGOZI did not do anything. She has come to brainwash all the Tibori boss. That is, she's now the one that did everything. Chai.
This is not just gathering of people. It will be unified voice of over 50 million Biafrans who have already voted in the self-referendum, reflecting the clear will of the people to establish the United States of Biafra.
What do you understand here? It is not just a convention, but it is the decision that has been derived with the referendum result that we conducted from February 2024 to the 28th midnight of November 2024. So it is not just only a convention and what Prime Minister has just enumerated, but it is from that decision of that self-referendum that is giving us the power of the people. Because for a government in Israel to have power to speak, you must first get the consent of your people. The consent of your people speaks through the referendum result. You now look at your military might. You have it now. The next thing you go for is what? These international diplomatic recognitions. When you get all this, you are good to go. We have gotten the military might. We have gotten the consent of the Biafran people from the referendum. What we are looking for now that is remaining now is what? The international recognition. Only one is remaining now. So it was not just the convention, but the power, the mandate that the Biafran people gave us from their consent of the referendum result, that they voted unanimously to show and say we are good to go. Prime Minister, go and do it for us. Biafran government, let's do it.
On November 28th, the final vote count will be concluded.
Did you hear that? On November 28th, the final vote count will be concluded. The voting started on February. He said on November 28th. November 28th, so is on the midnight. When you now enter 0000 hours of 29, that is when the voting has ended. And then the voting committee or the electoral committee cannot compute that result and bring it out between the 12 midnight of 28 and then bring it in the early morning of 7 a.m. or 9 a.m. or 12 p.m. of 29. But when we went to the convention, when NGOZI climbed the station 29 and scrapped the program and said she wants to declare now that she has changed her mind, she said that the electoral body should go and bring the results of the referendum for her to be able to do declaration now and then on the 29th. But you had Prime Minister told you that the voting portal will close on the 28th, which is midnight of 28. And there, you cannot compute the result of the midnight of 28 and then submit it before 12 noon of 29th. Listen to when you will hear me explain to you when the result will be presented. Listen to Prime Minister.
And if the majority says yes to independence of Biafra, Biafra people will give the Biafra government the mandate on December 2nd to officially declare the restoration of independence of Biafra.
On December 2nd, that when you people say yes and give us the mandate with the result that is out, that on December 2nd, you will use it to give us the mandate and say yes. So the portal will close on 28th. The result will be computed and we will have it on the 2nd, and we will use it to see the yes and no, and then use it to do the declaration. Are you people listening? He stipulated everything because, you know, after the portal closed 12 midnight of 28, there need to be time for computation of the result. So 29, 30th, 1st, 2nd, while these people you see, they are working, many of them are in the cultural, the technical department, and every other committees still in that convention. So as the portal closes at 12 midnight of 28, they now have to now be working maybe from, when they close from convention by 7 p.m., they could be working from 9 p.m. to midnight to compute the result each day. 9 p.m. to midnight, 9 p.m. to midnight. How many hours is that before they can be computing those results? From the 29 to the 1st, because before early morning of 2nd, the result, they should have finished compile it. But NGOZI was telling the electoral board that they should give her the result early morning of 29, where we say the portal closed midnight of 28. And it was not stipulated by Prime Minister that it should be that early morning of 29, that we should rush to bring result. Results should have come on the 2nd. Listen to the sabotage show. Not that we turn everything upside down. NGOZI is the one that did to turn. Prime Minister has instructed the committees and every department how they are going to carry out and when they are going to bring out this and bring that out. But NGOZI thwarted and turned everything upside down. Listen to PM.
Biafra fully defend it. The Biafra government will then be empowered by this legal document that will be generated from this convention and granted all legitimacy over a sovereign and independent United States of Biafra. This whole world will be watching, and the history awaits us all. I want you to understand that once this document has been generated and the Constitution of Biafra is voted on, which is a continuous document, a living document.
Did you hear that? That once the declaration document is generated and the Constitution of Biafra is voted, let me take back again so that you get it well. He has now come to explain to you that we need to vote to adopt the Constitution of Biafra inside the convention. Are you getting the point? Prime Minister has explained it now, that we have to vote on that constitution and adopt it in the convention there as a bill that is passed. Then we have to adopt it to make it a living and sealed document.
Us all. I want you to understand that once this document has been generated and the Constitution of Biafra is voted on, which is a continuous document, we'll be watching, and the history awaits us all. I want you to understand that once this document has been generated and the Constitution of Biafra is voted on, which is a continuous document, a living document, we'll be watching, and the history awaits us all. I want you to understand that once this document has been generated and the Constitution of Biafra is voted on, which is a continuous document, a living document from the 1967 to 1970, the battle for the recognition of Biafra will then begin.
Now, ask NGOZI, why did you scrap the process of the voting and adopting of the Constitution? If you go and check, this is what she did. I hereby present to you the Constitution of Biafra. It is 100 a gemma. All of you should go and buy. That is what NGOZI did. A constitution, a living document that you are supposed to review and then vote upon it and adopt it as a bill, as an act to make it sealed. It's just like NGOZI carried an handout and then presented to Biafran people. This handout costs 100 naira, 100 ejema, $100. Everybody should buy this handout and study it and read it. And then when next you come to my lecture hall, you must tell me everything that you have studied in paragraph 1 and paragraph 2. Chicken, huh? Class, I am off. Class rep, see me later after the section. That is what NGOZI did. A constitution that Prime Minister has instructed us that we have to vote and adopt it. We pass a bill, we pass an act. Every delegate that are there present will do what? Will vote and adopt the Constitution. Just the same way we voted and adopted the referendum result. We voted and then we now use the numbers of delegates to ratify the declaration, to make it a living and a sounding declaration, which makes it historical that 517 delegates voted, ratified, and adopted the Declaration of Independence of the Restoration of the United States of Biafra. Because it scrapped the process of the adopting and voting of the Constitution. She only presented herself. Hey, hello, Meru. A caricature of everything that Prime Minister has said in pace by pace, step by step. Not that he gave all these things for NGOZI to do. No, he has dedicated all these things to the planning committees of those that they will call to come up and present it. All these people have prepared themselves and then they were on standby. But NGOZI wanted to change 2nd of December Sankrosan that Prime Minister was preaching to become 29 of November is Sankrosan for her. So that it will be NGOZI, it will not now be Prime Minister.
At the same time, the legitimization of the Nigeria state within Biafra land will enter gear 10. And as that is happening, we will continue to make sure, like the court have shut down today, we will not have any single Nigerian.
Now, did you hear what Prime Minister said? That after the convention, the delegitimization of the existence of the terrorists in Biafra land will enter gear 10. Now, do you people remember that after the convention, I was preaching and saying that what we need now is not for them to come and start preaching Constitution. Yes, that what we need now, because when they came, they said, we are a new country now. That is what NGOZI was preaching. We have restored Biafra. We have to come and do accountability. We have to come and do this. We have to come and... I said, what we need now is not that. What we need now is to go back to continue the total delegitimization of the existence of Nigerian terrorists in Biafra land. That we have to put it in gear 100. Prime Minister was even saying gear 10. I was saying gear 100 after the declaration, which is the same thing that Finland did, America did, and Switzerland did, and Lithuania did. Every other country that have fought their independence, when they finish the declaration, they go back to expunge the remaining existence of the old country that were occupying their lands. Until you fully and totally free liberating your land and removing the remaining terrorists and existence of one Nigeria and all of their structures, that is when you will say that Biafra is fully liberated, and a constitutional conference can be conducted where you now bring your constitution to start implementing everything in your land. These people, Prime Minister said, the defense of Biafra land will now enter gear 10. The delegitimization will enter gear 10. But what did they do when they came back? The first thing they started doing was to come and start attacking the defense, which the defense is what we are going to use to do the total delegitimization. You see what they did? They came back and they started attacking the defense because they know that the defense is the tool that we will use to continue the total delegitimization of one Nigeria. They came back and started attacking that defense. They came back and started attacking everything that Prime Minister put in place so that we can use to surmount the defense and to make the defense to be more stronger. You see the IOU. The IOU was unveiled for the defense to be intensified, for the defense to be properly aligned, for us to continue to destroy the terrorists so that the full delegitimization will come in full force in gear 100 and gear 10. Because he came back and started telling you that the IOU that is supposed to bring more money for the defense to do the work, that IOU is a scam. She did not stop there. She went as far as telling you that the Biafra Defense Forces are supposed to now go and do this work of the full legitimization now after declaration, that they are now scam. They don't represent her. She now said she is going to do what? To go and form her own group. She's going to go and form her own army. She's going to go and do ID card for her own group of army. She's going to go and do bank account salary for her own group of army. Chai! Oh my God. What level of sabotage is this? But there is a message to all of you, because I'm ending the broadcast here because of time. I have to attend to some other things that have come up on the table. I'm ending the program here, but let me explain one thing to you people. That with all this happening, there is a message from the Prime Minister. Let me give you this one first. Oh, I wouldn't say that one. Let me give you the one that I will say, the one that will seal the message.
I want to let you know that the evil will only strive when good men keep quiet and silent. In the absence of good men, the evil men will always strive. Nigeria have shown to be evil for decades, and in all this evil of Nigeria, the good men have always been terrified, fear, and they remain silent for many years. Today, many good men have risen up, and they are all in Biafra government in exile.
Now, this message is to many of you that fear and terrified because you don't want to lose position that God is giving you. Go back and think and remember what will be your name tomorrow. When you help to destroy the foundations and the structure that PM set up for us. The lobbies that PM and the attorneys that PM set up, because he said they are criminals. Biafra Defense Forces, criminals. IOU, scam. Hey. The website where Prime Minister created for us to be making donation that goes directly to men on ground, which is the Biafra Gov website and IPOBUSA.org, because it's a scam. I leave the message here for all of you. Go and reason and come back. I have passed my message. All of you should go and use your brain and think. Tomorrow is another day.